You might have found yourself in a situation where an issue has been bothering you. It's been lingering in the back of your mind, and no matter how much you try to ignore it, it keeps coming up. The tension builds, and suddenly it feels like something is standing between you and the person you care about. When something like this happens, do you stay silent, hoping it will just resolve on its own, or do you decide to address it? It's never easy to face those uncomfortable moments, especially when emotions are running high. But let me tell you, talking through issues can be the key to unlocking deeper connections with the people around you. Think about the last time you had a difficult conversation. Maybe it was with a friend, a family member, or someone you were close to. When you started the conversation, did you feel nervous, unsure, or even frustrated? The truth is, many of us avoid having difficult conversations because we're afraid of conflict. We're afraid of being misunderstood, or maybe even afraid of hurting someone's feelings. It's natural to feel this way, but the longer we avoid these conversations, the deeper the issues grow, and eventually, that silence can be more damaging than the conversation itself. So what do you do when you find yourself in this position? The first step to unlocking deeper connections is to recognize the importance of communication. Effective communication is the foundation of any strong relationship, whether it's with a partner, a friend, or a colleague. Being able to talk through issues openly and honestly is crucial for building trust and understanding. But it's not just about talking for the sake of talking. It's about talking with intention. It's about choosing the right words, and it's about listening as much as you speak. Have you ever noticed how the best conversations happen when both people feel heard? When you give the other person space to share their thoughts and feelings, you're inviting them into a deeper connection with you. Now, let's talk about the art of actually talking through the issue. The first thing you need to remember is to approach the conversation with respect. If you go into it with an attitude of blame, criticism, or defensiveness, the conversation will quickly spiral into an argument. Instead, try to focus on how you feel, rather than what the other person did wrong. For example, instead of saying, "You always ignore me when I need you," try saying, "I feel hurt when I don't feel heard." This approach makes it less likely that the other person will feel attacked, and more likely that they will be open to understanding your perspective. It's also important to stay calm during the conversation. Have you ever been in a situation where emotions took over, and before you knew it, you were both yelling, and neither of you was actually listening to the other? It's easy for emotions to escalate, especially when the issue at hand is something close to your heart. But staying calm allows you to think clearly, to express your thoughts thoughtfully, and to stay focused on finding a solution. When you stay calm, you show that you are in control of your emotions, and that you're willing to approach the situation with maturity, which can help to diffuse any tension in the conversation. One of the biggest mistakes people make when talking through issues is assuming that the other person knows what they did wrong. We all have different perspectives and ways of interpreting situations. So instead of assuming, it's important to clarify. Ask questions to make sure you understand where the other person is coming from. This also shows that you're genuinely interested in their point of view and that you value their feelings. For example, you might say, "Can you help me understand why that happened?" Or "What was going through your mind when you said that?" These questions open up the conversation, allowing both sides to share their thoughts in a way that leads to deeper understanding as you're talking through the issue. It's important to remain open, to be willing to hear the other person's perspective. Even if you don't agree with them, it's important to show that you're listening and that you respect their point of view. When we allow ourselves to be open during these conversations, we create space for the other person to share their feelings, which can lead to empathy. The more we understand each other's experiences, the stronger our connection becomes. Another important element of communication is nonverbal cues. How often do you find yourself nodding along during a conversation? Maybe leaning in slightly to show you're engaged. These small gestures can speak volumes, and they help create an environment where the other person feels safe to open up. In fact, nonverbal communication is just as powerful as what you say with your words. A simple smile, a comforting touch, or a calm demeanor can make all the difference in how the conversation flows. So, pay attention to your body language and use it to reinforce your words when you talk through issues. It's also essential to find a solution together. The goal of the conversation should never be to win or to prove a point, but to understand each other better and work together to find a resolution. This might mean compromising, it might mean letting go of your pride, or it might mean apologizing no matter the situation. The goal is to strengthen the relationship, not create more distance. It's also helpful to keep the conversation focused on the issue at hand. Have you ever had a conversation where everything from the past seemed to come up, and suddenly you're talking about things that happened months or even years ago? This can derail the conversation and make it harder to find a solution. Instead, try to stay focused on the current issue and avoid bringing up old grievances. This keeps the conversation productive and helps to prevent it from spiraling out of control. When you take the time to talk through issues, you're not only resolving conflicts, you're also building a stronger, deeper connection. Each time you face an issue together and work through it with respect and understanding, you're strengthening the trust in the relationship. You're showing each other that no matter what challenges come up, you can work together to overcome them. And that's a powerful thing. So, the next time you find yourself facing an issue with someone you care about, remember the power of communication. Approach the conversation with respect, stay calm, and listen actively. Ask questions, remain open, and focus on finding a solution together. By doing so, you'll not only resolve the issue at hand, but you'll also unlock a deeper connection with that person. And remember, the more you practice this, the easier it will become to talk through issues. Until it becomes second nature, don't forget to subscribe, like, share, because you will learn a ton of information in the next video.